Yeah, hello everyone. Uh, yeah, let's complete our remaining points that was pending from our last discussion. That is for SAP Cloud integrations, right? We have seen what were the previous versions from SAP before moving to cloud, the PI, PO, XI, all those versions. We did configuration. We started with hands-on configuration on BTP and get the integration suite. So now, before starting to build on cloud integrations, let's see what are the basic concepts of and the tools that SAP cloud integration comprises of. Okay, so I will talk about uh, development tools. Then there are basic concepts. What is the like XML, XSD, and all those, right? And then we have Apache Camel basics, and then we'll talk about the development and configuration using CI. Okay, it's an overview, and we'll go like deeper on each and every topic once we cover hands-on session. The CPI, CI, right? So cloud integration, it is the core service for SAP Cloud Platform. It is open source, it is flexible, on-demand integration systems that are running. There is a web UI is available for different kind of user interactions for them. And then SAP services like user identity, we have to create it whenever we want to access that. So as we know, it is completely cloud based. We need to create a S user to get logged into the system, and we can start accessing all the components that as we have seen earlier, how to create an S user and everything. So we just need a web UI, and we are connected to SAP BTP integration suite. So once we do that with our, maybe like you can use email ID and username and password combination here, like it will open the tenant URL for us in the browser using our S user ID. We can navigate the web UI, and then we can discover pre-packaged integration that are present in the assigned tenant, and we also can design, configure standard custom contents, and monitor the services as we have seen earlier. So once we have that, development is mostly configuration using CI, PI, that would require the knowledge of basic XML, XSD, WSDL, BPMN. All these integrations are like it evolves around our basic concepts for CI. If you are already aware of PI, how we develop it, it's almost similar. The structure of message, that is data, it is transferred through integration and involves this basic concept. So the data messages that are used basically are XML, using XSD as a framework, and then there are visuals and all those details to access them. Now, what is XML? It is like the markup language, right? So extensible markup language, and it is designed to store and transport data. It was realized in 90s, and it was created to provide ease to use, store self-describing data. It is W3C recommendation provided. It is not a replacement to HTML, but it is an addition to it, because XML is again like HTML is a set format and XML is non-structured format. The structures, basically it is user defined set of like we can the design to be self-descriptive. We can design all the aspects of it. It is not for display purpose, it is just for data carry. So for transferring it is used. It is not predefined. We must have to define our own tags and everything. It is a platform independent and language independent. So that's how XML works. So XML works on XSDs, and XSDs stand for schema definitions. So whatever rules we have seen, like in XML, it is user defined. We can write them in XSDs. What are the data types it supports for the elements and attributes? What are the namespace it is requiring? Defines what should be the order for the child elements in the XML. So all these rules and set of structure is provided in XSD. WSDL is basically an XML-based language for describing web services and how to access them. We can import the WSDLs and provide it to get our service connected, like based on the web service, right? So web services descriptive language is the full form for it. It is used to locate web services. It specifies operations or methods in the service exposures. And the WSDL document structure is basically, it has types, messages, port types, and bindings. So types are basically data types used for web services. Messages are the data elements that message is used for the web services to be sent. Port type is the operations performed and the messages involved by the web services. The communication protocol and the data format for it is used for the web services, right? So bindings are used for it. So here BPMN, it stands for Business Process Modeling Notation. It's a new standard for modeling the business and web service processes. It provides user with the industry standards of diagrams and diagramming and syntaxing semantics, like through graphical diagram to facilitate the representation of the business process. It provides modeling of the simple and complex business processes. It supports generation of business process execution language, BPEL. Core set of modeling elements enables like it is for simple development, and it is like business process diagrams are provided. It looks familiar to like most of the business analytics, right? So analysts, you can compare it with the flow charts basically. So okay, so Apache Camel is like it is uh, a modeling perspective again. Like let me explain here what is Apache Camel. It is a message processing flow in CI. It is based on BPMN. Okay, the integration flow is interrupted. Yeah, sorry. So it is interrupted and executed during runtime. CI relies on the Apache Camel. It is a versatile open source integration framework. It is based on enterprise integration patterns. The message routing and it is a like it is routing the messages and mediating them. You can feed the engine with any data format and it forwards the respective receivers depending on the modeled route. So some basic structure you can see here. It is depicted below. So message processing is done, routed, and the processor chain. So this is all based on what is the message, the exchange ID, exception details, what are the properties for it, in message, out message. All those details are captured here. In the development and configuration of CI part, we can develop it in the integration flow with standard and custom set of rules using web UI. So below diagram, you can refer to understand, like get an understanding of the representation of overall integration flow. Here you see the sender is the one which is sending the messages through a channel into integration process. It allows to like allows us to configure the sender adapters. Okay, once the message is received in the integration process, it goes through step one, step two, step three. So all these steps are basically it allows to configure like how the messages need to be processed in the integration process in the tenant, and it allows the process message to processing in the details such as encryption, decryption, transformation of any kind of messages like rendering the message or any kind of data messaging is happening in this layer. And once the message is processed, it is sent to so there can be one or more channels to receive that message. So here in this example you can see there are three different channels the same message is received through, and it is sent to the receivers, multiple receivers. And again, now here these channels are also configured for the receiver adapters. You can configure them based on that. So this is an overall view of what integration steps look like. Once we start working on it, we can have an hands-on session on getting explained what are the steps to it. Okay, so stay tuned for it, and thank you.